ShakespeareCat, and this is my first ever stream. So, I am very new to Twitch, and I got it in my head that I would like to start streaming the cozy games I've been playing. Currently, I'm located in New Zealand, and that means that I'm able to stream in my afternoons when it would be late night for y'all back in the States. So I'm gonna try to start with just like a weekly Sunday night American time stream for people who are just looking for something kind of cozy to play at nighttime. And I'm just gonna play my favorite cozy games. If you're here, then you've read the disclaimer and you know that I am not a professional gamer. I am aggressively mediocre and I am unashamed. But in the meantime, this is one of my favorite games, Fairytale Fables, and we're just gonna go ahead and hit the play button. I was actually a huge fan of the precursor to this game, which was Storybook Brawl, and I played that a lot. And then, as some of you may know if you've ever played Storybook Brawl, and obviously anyone who plays Fairytale Fables, they sold to FTX and went bankrupt, and the server shut down, and I was very bummed, but at the same time the game was not great by the time it had reached the end stages, which was a huge bummer because like Storybook Brawl was kind of my first intro into auto battlers, and I love everything kind of folklore, fairy tale themed. Like, yeah, I'm just a sucker for it. I grew up reading a lot of fairy tales, so it was just awesome to have like a fun card game with amazing fairy tale art. But I have to say, I'm just so stoked. I was really, really happy that Fairytale Fables came about. I was kind of stalking the Storybook Brawl subreddit, and then when I finally saw a post saying, hey, there's a new game, I was so happy, and I'm really excited. Like, Fairytale Fables has come a long way. They're replacing all of their AI art, which is awesome, because I don't know about you guys, but when I see AI art, especially the AI art that they have for this game, I actually really struggle telling the difference between characters, because whatever AI generator they used seems to just like produce art at a very specific facial angle and with like one facial expression. So a lot of the cards were looking really similar to me, so I would skip over cards. I mean, I say that, but I still skip over cards all the time because I don't pay that much attention to my games. I tend to multitask and have sitcoms playing in the background or whatever. But yeah, I figured this would be a good addition to the sleepy time games that I want to play. I'm thinking as I continue forward with this channel that I'm going to just add games that have been on my Steam wish list, like Strange Horticulture, Islanders, Dwarf Romantic, that kind of thing. So yeah, if you've been looking for something nighttime and chill with just someone trying to keep it chill, then I think this will be a good channel, and we'll see. And like I said, I'm brand new to all the streaming, so I will learn and see what we can do. I've noticed also that I'm almost always in queue for exactly 3 minutes and 6 seconds, so we'll see how long I'm in the queue this time. Oh, it was 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Very close. Alright, let's see what hero I've got. Also, another thing that I've really appreciated about Fairytale Fables since it came out was that they, I'm just shy of being able to buy a new hero. Okay, should I go Wayward Sisters or Daedalus? I think I'm gonna go Daedalus. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? I'm realizing I should go like full screen here. This is a little bit messed up for you guys. There we go. Yeah, sorry that's a little bit. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna pick the owl. He's always a good first choice. Plus I have a spell now. I might actually just go full screen. Sorry guys. windowed. Let's go full screen. There we go. Not better for you guys. Oh man. Oh, but yeah, what I was saying, like, I've really appreciated with the heroes and the characters that they've added some more diversity, because one thing that I had noticed with SVB, and I think a lot of people who've played Storybook Brawl noticed, was it's very Eurocentric. I mean, I'm actually trying to think, and I feel like the Brave Princess was like the one princess of color that they actually had on there. Oh yeah, let's do the little pups. Man, look how weird his paws look though, because he's AI generated. Yeah, he's got like an abnormal number of toe beans. And also, like, what's this chunk of fur that he's losing? He just has like a random chunk of fur. I will say, I don't really condone AI for the reasons that it's like a plagiarism tool, but it's very entertaining to make fun of AI art. And I think we've got a ways to go before AI art becomes high quality, so we'll have plenty of time about that. Ooh, look, another golden retriever. And I should get a second character home. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna get a questing character, because sometimes these games do you dirty and you don't get to cash in on any treasures, so you need something with a quest to guarantee you at least some amount of treasures. Yeah. You know, with this game, I am no expert. Some of you might have seen my rank. I'm the... Man, I forget the name of the rank even. This tells you how serious I am about my games. I'm the one below the infinity bracket, and I haven't made it to infinity in Fairytale Fables yet. So maybe that'll be part of the secret sub-quest of this channel is me making it to the infinity bracket of Fairytale Fables. I've noticed that their abbreviation for it is FTF, and I wonder if they did that on purpose to kind of make fun of FTX. Right? They had to, right? I'm sure someone's mentioned it in the subreddit. Okay. I guess I can just get 2 royals to help quest up my boy. I don't mind the health, but I guess I don't need it because he's got the extras. Yeah. Let's do that. I don't know why, but I always put the highest HP over here on the right. Anyways. But yeah, I guess I can keep chatting a little bit about me. So anyways, my name's Kat. I'm an American. I live in Wellington, New Zealand now. That's been quite a journey. My husband and I moved to Taiwan from the States actually in 2021 because of COVID. We were both bartenders at the time, and for obvious reasons, didn't have much stability in our work life. So we spent the better part of the first year of COVID trying to get all of our paperwork in order to go to Taiwan. I'm Taiwanese. And then, ooh, let's get this guy. I don't love that you just see his back, but I do kind of love that the hair lines up with Rapunzel's hair. I think that's cute. Right. I guess we can get this guy, huh? Get us a wee level 2 treasure. Let's do this. This is better long-term effects, I think. Everything is... Oh, sure. Let's do that. I'm running out of time. Oh, and let's get a spell while we're at it. There we go. But yeah, we've been in New Zealand for about 2 years now. We have residency, and so far I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, it's got its ups and downs, but especially with the current political situation in the States, my husband and I are pretty grateful that we don't have to be on American soil for the election. But this is a chill channel, so I'm trying not to bring politics. Maybe I'll start a category for ranty discourse, where I can play chill games, but I'll rant in a normal, loud voice and voice all of the strong opinions that I definitely have. Alright, let's see. Ooh, you know what? They just added Odette the Swan Queen, and I wasn't expecting that, and I'm kind of tickled. I grew up doing ballet, and I love Swan Lake, man. I was such a nerd, so I was actually homeschooled, and, ooh, actually, what if I sacrifice some health for, actually none of these characters are what I want. I'll just get him because he's a 3 level. character. But yeah, I fucking love Swan Lake, guys. I've seen Swan Lake back in Pittsburgh. I grew up in Pittsburgh, actually. But anyway, I've seen Swan Lake, and oh god, I hate when it does that. It's been doing that a lot lately. Yeah, and I love the story. It's kind of tragic, though. Also, when you think about it, it's kind of lame, because, like, it starts off with, like, man, this game's been really glitchy since the most recent update. I didn't even hit skip, and there it went. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not sure why he's discounted, but I'm not gonna question it. Let's pop him there. I like him. He helps the future of the shop. She's not very helpful. Also, I should put this on someone that actually has a boost, huh? Again, never said I was profesh. Get your hero attack time. Yeah, let's give him some boosts there. And I don't think I want either of these guys. Let's do that. And give him a wee boost. I don't really have a theme for this, do I? I've got no plans, guys. This is me up through level 4. I just like have no plans, and then I'm like, oh shit, I should probably make a cohesive team. Yeah, it's probably for the best. But yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. To be fair, guys, I've actually been on some like neural suppressants. I forget the name of the drug, but I've been dealing with some nerve pain the past couple weeks. And the first week after I went to the doctor, they thought it was just a muscle spasm, so they just put me on like Celebrex or something really strong, and that didn't do anything for me, which I thought was strange. So I went back to the doctor and I was like, hey, these painkillers you gave me weren't doing jack all. They were like, oops, might be a nerve issue. So turns out it was. And oh, nice, he did slay. Sweet. All right, we need someone else to get a slay up in here. Actually, let's give it to the unyielding man, because I found that works quite well. What's this spell again? Draining. Nah. Okay. Yeah, okay. We can get rid of this chef for the owl. The problem is everyone wants to get the owl, so it's always hard to upgrade him. Wait, should I get the spellbook too? I'm not like going full mage, but he's technically a mage. Yeah, sure, why not? Is Odette just oh yeah, I was talking about Swan Lake, guys. So I don't know how many of you are ballet buffs, but Tchaikovsky's the one who composed Swan Lake. The music's amazing, and the story is that there was this queen, I think I can't remember exactly. I think she was the ex of, or like refused to marry this sorcerer after her husband died, and so he cursed her daughter and turned her daughter and all of her daughter's servants into swans. And what happened was the queen was so how do I want to say, out of sorts? What's the elegant word for that? She was just so distraught. That's the word I'm looking for. She was so distraught about this that I don't think we need Retriever Boy anymore. And let's give Odette some shit. I've actually never leveled up in Odette. I don't remember what the true you is, to be honest. Look, there's 2 of the Little Mermaids here. And let's grab her. Why not? Let's get rid of the pups. The pupsters. Oh, dude, I messed up. Actually, we can get rid of this. It's no biggie. Oh, I forgot that added the boost. That's fine. Level 3. I'm gonna do the level 3. I'm gonna gamble. But yeah, the mother was so distraught after her daughter got turned into a swan that she cried an entire lake with just her own tears, and then she drowned herself in the lake. Sorry, I don't know how relaxing bedtime this is, but it's kind of funny when you like think about how dramatic these old stories were. So yeah, she drowned herself in the lake, and then the swans just lived forever on the lake, and that's what Swan Lake is. Literally, Odette is swimming on a lake of her mother's own tears that she drowned herself in. And then the story is that the curse can only be broken by someone declaring true love for Odette. So it's almost like a Beauty and the Beast kind of situation where she's got to get someone to fall in love with her, but it's really hard to do because she's only in her human form at nighttime after the sun goes down. so you can imagine how difficult it is. Ah, dang it. That darned clock. That's a new character too from a couple days ago. Alright, I'm not doing so hot, guys. I think it's time to go full trickster mode. Yeah, this is where we've got to do some hard pivots, guys. Let's do the little teacups. We're gonna do him. Honestly, I don't think the mermaid's doing much for us right now. I'm thinking like that, maybe. Okay, we'll see. Again, if you're watching this and you're like, yo, I'm way better at this game than she is, yeah, you're probably right. I do this for fun, dog. Also, I'm talking a lot, so I'm obviously not paying that much attention. I should do more research. I know I could be way better at this game if I actually would research all the updates, but I don't. I kind of just wing it and figure out the updates as I go. But yeah, anyways, back to Swan Lake. So then this prince, right? I think in the fairy tale, gosh, don't hold me to this. I'm pretty sure his name is Siegfried. Yeah, Prince, I think so. I think it's Prince Siegfried for Swan Lake. Might be Prince Siegfried for Sleeping Beauty. No, I'm gonna stand by that. I'm pretty sure it's Prince Siegfried for Swan Lake. But anyways, he doesn't want to get married. You know, his parents are forcing him to marry and all that jazz. And then, wow, look at that. The teapot's pulling through for me. Ooh, and they got a sleigh in. Alright, we're tying. It's finally breaking even again. Okay, here we go. I might just kind of go full trickster, guys. Okay, Romeo's been doing us no favors. Neither is this guy. Fucking loser. God. Let's get a little tricksy siren in there. And, alright. I just, like, want Odette to work for me, because I'm in the middle of telling this story. Everything else I have 2 of, so I don't really want to give it up. Oh, should I get a Narcissus to, like, try to get another treasure? Yeah, I'm not gonna save it for him. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure Siegfried, if it's not the Swan Lake Prince, he's a different ballet prince. I'm sorry. The meds. I'm blaming my nerve pain meds. But anyway, he's supposed to be choosing out a bride. He doesn't want to. He goes on a hunting trip and he's caught out late at night without his friends. And he sees this flock of beautiful swans. And he wants to hunt one because he hasn't caught anything else. And he's like aiming to shoot one of the swans, and as he does so, he sees them land on the lake and swim to shore. Ooh, I'm like not doing so well, guys. I think I've got to do this, even though I hate picking it sometimes because it doesn't really help me much. Let's be real. Odette's not really helping me out, is she? I'm gonna keep her there because until I'm done telling this story, I'm gonna keep her there. How about that? We'll make it so I've got to tell the fairy tales of all these characters. Do I want any of these? No, I have no investment in any of these characters. Okay, let's give the merchant guy one. Let's give the teacups some sleigh boosts. I think I'm gonna just go really hard into the items. Ah, damn it. God fucking damn it. Okay. You know what? Melusine's pretty cool. Oh my god, I could go on and on about that one. Dude. Alright, after I finish the Swan Lake. So anyways. Siegfried sees the swans turning into women, right? And he's like, oh my god, can't believe I almost shot one of them. These are fairy tales in layman's terms, so don't hold me to it. Oh, what is happening with this game? I'm gaming like fighting against a no-name bot? What's going on here? Some shit's up. Something smells funny to me. Anywho's, he basically has love at first sight with Odette, who's, you know, obviously the leader because she's the princess, royalty, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, total nonsense, really. They fall in love overnight. He invites her to the ball that his parents are hosting for him to pick a bride at. And he's like, please come to the ball. I'll declare my love for you and I'll break this curse, right? Because they spent one full night together, so obviously they know everything about each each other. Ooh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of Rapunzel's prince, huh? Should have kept him, but that's okay. Whatever, man. Ahaha, finally. A tripled up character. Ooh. I need a boost. Let's do that one. Let's pop Melusine in there as well. Will we slay? What's this guy? Oh, Sir Lancelot. I deal 100 damage to other characters. Oh, that's his quest. Oh, okay. Not bad. Alright, I'm gonna give a big old... Yeah, there we go. Maybe I'll swap that to Odette. Yeah, alright, girl. You go, girl. Nah, I'm gonna keep all their charms. I like all these items. I wouldn't mind the health potion now, though. Yeah, so basically, of course, you know, as is normal back in the day, and for any, you know, reasonable plot of any ballet or fairy tale or Disney movie, they fall in love overnight, and he says he's going to marry her and encourages her to come to the ball. Now, Rothbart is the name of the evil sorcerer that cursed Odette. And he always kind of shows up on stage as like a big old like owl, like a big evil owl bird, and he overhears the whole thing. He basically traps Odette and transforms. Ooh, I'm getting knocked out, guys. Good thing I have that charm. This guy's too buff. Man, Sinbad and Kate kicking my ass. Okay. But anyways, he basically like turns his own daughter Odile and enchants her to look like Odette. Oh, I'm in the top 4. That is, I don't know if that's fair, but I'm not gonna fight it, guys. I'm not hearing me complaining. Oh, fuck, I spent all my mana. That's unfortunate. This trophy killer looking. Trophy hunter, that's it. I think I can beat Trophy Hunter. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think so. I guess I'll get this and just hope for the best. There we go. Yeah, so basically he sends Odile to the party. Siegfried is tricked into thinking it's Odette. They do this whole big dramatic dance together. The music's awesome. And then he declares his love for Odile. But he says it's for Odette, right? And then he doesn't see Odette flapping outside the window. And she crashes down and in tragedy, because now she's cursed to be a swan forever because her true love's declared love for someone else. Which I think is kind of bold, because he didn't know. He wasn't declaring love for Odile. He didn't know who that chick is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell, man? Like, dude. Like, seems like, yeah, against his will. I feel like magic shouldn't have that kind of a loophole, but what do I know? So anyway, she's cursed to be a swan forever, and she would rather die than live as a bird forever, because she can't turn human anymore. She's now a swan forever. She's not going to turn human at sundown. Don't ask me why Rothbart did that to them, but whatever, man. So then Siegfried like realizes his mistake, because Rothbart's like, ha ha ha, I tricked you, you know, at the dance. Runs out, sees Odette flying away, follows her, and she like basically tells him like, oh, when the sun rises, I'm going to be a swan again, and I'm never going to be able to be human again. I love you, but I'd rather die than live a life forever as a bird. And so she like throws herself over a cliff, and so do all of her servants, which, okay, I mean, hear me out. Yeah, it would really stink to be like cursed to be a swan forever, but like, I don't know, dog. You get to fly around, you're looking pretty snazzy, people are afraid of you. Like, really, throwing yourself off a cliff seems a bit extreme. But anyways, she throws herself off to her death. Siegfried turns around heartbroken, and then he realizes, no, life without Odette's pointless. Again, the girl he met last night and has spent less than a total of 24 hours with, and then just throws himself off the cliff. And that's the end of the story. Yeah. And to me, that's just so crazy that happened. But again, I do really love the ballet in this story, so there you go. And I've basically spent this whole game talking about Swan Lake. But hey, guess what, guys? I didn't lose any ranks, so I'm still inching towards infinite bracket. There you go. I'm gonna play a couple more rounds of this. So what time is it? Don't mind me, I've got to change the displays so that I can actually take a peek at the take a peek at the chat. This is part of why I've been okay, cool. No worries. What time? Oh, beautiful. I actually have no way of knowing how to look at how long I've actively been streaming, but what ifs? Oh, there it is. Half an hour. We're good. Cool. Well, back to full screen, I guess. Alright. Okay, you know what? That's great, because now I get to talk about Melazine. Alright, I'm gonna play a couple more games. Let's try to get my rank up in the couple hundreds. 4,200. Yeah, what is this rank called? Fairytale Master. I've been stuck at Fairytale Master for about 2 months, guys. And that was kind of where I was at with Storybook Brawl as well. Because I think even if you make Infinite Bracket, they bump everyone back down to Fairytale Master. So I would have to make it back to Infinite every month. And I know if I wanted to do that regularly, I'd actually have to start putting a little more effort into researching all of the characters' mechanics and really thinking about it. And like doing math about it. And like, I love math. I have a math degree. I do maths a lot for my job, but I want to be a little lazy Susan when I'm playing my games, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyways, you know what? I've been enjoying talking about all the different fairy tales. Let me talk to you guys about Melazine, okay? Fucking Melazine. So, Melazine's a French fairy tale. Swan Lake is... I'm pretty sure that was like a made-for-ballet story, actually, because a lot of ballets are based off of classic fairy tales, like Sleeping Beauty. I think Giselle has elements of, you know, folklore in it. And then the Nutcracker is based off of a book. But yeah, Sleeping Beauty is one of those. And then, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, there's Coppelia. I think that was also a written for ballet story. Coppelia's hilarious. Actually, that'd be great if they had some Coppelia characters in here. Anyways. But dude, Melazine, very brief story. So basically this, like, French lord or whatever, lord's son, knight's son, somebody, he's really of very minimal importance in the story. He is just, you know, gallivanting through the woods, as one does, and he hears this beautiful voice, and he stumbles upon this gorgeous blonde woman in the woods, just combing her hair, looking radiant, you know, normal day for everybody. And he's like, whoa, you're so hot, and she's like, hi. And I should do like ShakespeareCat's version of like audiobook fairy tales, but just like my improv retellings. I'd have a good time with that. But anywho, again, love at first sight. He begs her to marry him, and she agrees on one condition: that she gets a special like tower, separate chamber, where she gets to have her privacy every full moon. And he's not allowed to come in, he's not allowed to look at her during the full moon. And if you're thinking what you're thinking, yes, this is a metaphor for periods, which I fucking hate. So anyways, they're married, they live happily together. They have, I believe, 7 sons together, all of whom have various magical mutations. Oh, dang it, I don't have 4,000 gold yet. I was gonna unlock her kids. Alright, fine, we'll play Savitri. Oh man, I love Savitri and Saint-Fayen too. Again, I'm so happy they diversified their heroes, because the last version, the SBB Crypto Bro version, was so white, man. So white. Let's get our little baker rat. Does anyone have a pet rat? I feel like rats are actually really cute if you have like a clean pet rat. The only sad thing is they don't live very long. Yeah. Anyways, back to Melazine. So they're married for a very long time, I might add, years. Like, I guess, again, enough time to have 7 sons. So we're talking, like, if we're doing the math right, it has to be at least 10 years, right? At least. I mean, I guess theoretically she could be having 1 son a year and it could be 7 years, but cut a woman a break. Let's be nice to Melusine and assume she at least had a bit more of a break. So married for at least 10 to 15 years, right? And for some reason, one day, the husband just can't take it anymore and he has to know what's going on during the full moon. He's kept up his patience this long. And he's just like, now all of a sudden he can't fucking contain himself. Don't ask me why. Whoa, someone else did the same thing. That's hilarious. So he sneaks up to where she's in her tower singing and he like can't help himself, right? Ooh, let's get murky. Yeah, and a little fluff. And we're just gonna roll. Oh, look at that. So lock that in. He peeks through the keyhole and he sees that his gorgeous wife that he met in the woods, who, you know, why on earth would she be any sort of fey creature? Like, this is medieval fantasy France. Why would anything be weird? That is his beautiful fey wife is indeed a fey wife, and she is like a shimmery blue serpent body from the waist down, and is still human from the waist up. And he lets out a cry of astonishment, and she gasps out loud, turns, sees her husband's eye through the keyhole, and is like, yeah, you betrayed me. And then she literally slithers out the window, never to be seen again. And then I think sometimes he would like wander the woods listening to her voice, but he never saw her. So then he was just left alone with their sons. Yeah, so that was pretty much the story. It's basically just like a weird period shamey story. Very strange. Also their sons, man, their sons had some what we would call interesting birth traits because their mother was basically a fey creature. So there was like Anton, who had like, I don't remember all their names actually. One of them had like a lion's paw face tattoo essentially that he was born with. One of the guys was a cyclops, but like a hot cyclops, like he was human sized with one eye and he could see for 50 miles with it. And then one of the sons had a massive ear that he could hear for 50 miles with. And then I forget the other ones, they were less interesting. But yeah, they all had like fey abilities because they were halfies. Aww. Sorry, I'm distracted by the story of Melusine. Anyways, but yeah, it was interesting that all the sons had, is there anything here that I want? Oh, maybe a fluff. I've got 2 sheeps, why not? They'll do me more than the rats will. The rats aren't really doing me any favors. Do me more than the rats will. They will be better for me than the rats will. Yeah. Man, old fairy tales are so wild. So, you know, like I said at the beginning, part of why I liked these games was I was really into fairy tales. And, man, I read a book of Italian fairy tales, and let me tell you, there's this character in Italian fairy tales called the Prince of the Seven Veils. And he is what I would call the equivalent to, like, you know, the Brothers Grimm's Prince Charming, right? Like, any prince is just kind of like Prince Charming, right? And should we do Princess of Wise? I do like that they have a surfer mermaid in there. I don't see why not, yeah. I'm gonna keep all the items, but I'm gonna get rid of one of the rats. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna keep that, and I'm also gonna use one of the rats to buy a spell. We're gonna do that. But yeah, the Prince of the Seven Veils, he's like in so many different fairy tales, and so many different women fall in love with him. Like, he's gotta be some sort of fey prince, right? Because he has so many, like, there's so many different stories where different women marry and fall in love with him. And like, they give the impression that he is monogamous, so he must be like basically immortal, because he's had a lot of wives. Or maybe he's just like a polygamous prince, you know, a polyamorous prince that has a little harem going on. Who knows, man? Who knows? Okay. What's the play here, guys? I don't know. I'm gonna roll. It's a little early to be. Oh, right. This is tricky for me. I don't know what to do. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that. Oh, that's pretty lucky, actually. Alright, gotta go fast. I've only got 15 seconds. Let's see. Anvil, I don't know. That seems silly. Let's do that. None of the other ones pertain to me in any way. Alright, there we go. Let's do that. And ready. Also, it's a little confusing that they have two Snow White characters, right? They did a Snow White vampire, and then they have the regular Snow White. Like, is she supposed to be the same character, just like one turn and one not? So Snow White isn't the bride of Dracula. I'm all for creative liberties, but come on, Dracula's had many brides, and Snow White was not one of them. Anyways, didn't we just fight Brother Gambler, or am I in my head about this? I could have sworn we just fought that guy. Or was that Mayor of Orangeburg or whatever? Oh no, it was. Yeah, that's who we fought. Pig entrepreneur. So sorry. Let's grab Ari and give her a little wee item. And, oh, we get a Great Wave to cast. And perhaps a wee Snoot. Let's get some item discounts, yo. Yeah. Man, you know what? I really like Russian fairy tales as well. And I did have a weird, I was going to say for this game, I did notice that they changed the little trickster spider into that one mermaid character. I was actually kind of hoping that they would turn him into Nancy, who's like the Algerian spider trickster, like the mischievous spider. Because I do think they could use some more representation from African, like I still think this game could use a little more like non-Western representation in the character cards, because I think they've done better with the heroes, but I think as far as like actual characters go, I think we could have some more non-Western representation in there. Let's do some slays. Yeah, slay. Alright, yeah, sure, why not? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just fucking making it. Alright, there we go. Let's see what's next. I think we're good for now. But yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they do that. You know, branch out a bit with the character cards. Yeah, because it's a lot of like, yeah, Snow White, Sherlock Holmes, and then like all these mermaids, and what was it? There's like, you know, Dracula, and a lot of the like farmer types and things like that. And there's just such a rich fairy tale world out there, man. Celtic fairy tales were pretty fun too. I had a big book of like Celtic myths and fairy tales that were delightful. Ooh, nice. Got a couple slays off there. This is great. Ooh, okay. Chip away slowly at your... Yeah, chip it away slowly. Slowly but surely. Ooh, finally. Another treasure. Okay. Alright guys. Slay or mimic? Let's do slay. I do mimic all the time. I'm gonna get more monies, and then I'm gonna get Smithy, because she's actually pretty fucking dope. Can I just say, I do kind of like how they did the Lord of the Rings, where they've clearly made some female dwarves with beards, and I kind of fucking love it. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't make presumptions about their gender. But I do, in my headcanon, like to think that it's like the Tolkien-esque dwarves, where both the men and the women have beards, and I think that's cute as hell. Just drinking some water, folks. Just drinking some water. But yeah. I was, also, how's there another Savitri here? Oh, I guess maybe they switched their hero? Man, I do really feel like this is hella glitchy. Oh, though, speaking of Swan Lake, because I see they've got Odette over here. Did anyone grow up watching the Barbie movies? Because, like, I really liked the Barbie of Swan Lake edition as a kid. And maybe I'm showing my age, but man, I loved her sparkly pink and blue dress. Gosh, maybe I should make a cosplay of that. How fun would that be to go to a Comic-Con in an old, like, Barbie dress? God, I was just such a sucker for those Barbie movies, y'all. I cannot. I mean, the animation was terrible, but the stories were great. And honestly, like, they were just such feel-good little movies. Oh, so sweet. Yeah, we need to get these guys buffed up a little more. Is anyone else doing dwarves? I should do a quick sweep. I do appreciate this. There wasn't like a convenient in-game way to spy on people's boards with fairytale Fables, and I just really appreciate it. I appreciate that about this game. Okay, any dwarves evident? No. See, I have a bad habit of looking what I need right in the face and then immediately skipping it. Right. Yeah. Let me know if the volume of my voice is good for you guys. I'm hoping like this is pretty good. I have to consciously think about speaking softly, but you know, good for me. Which is why I'm suggesting, you know, maybe I also do a separate category that's a little more energetic for people who actually want something energetic on. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Wow, the volume is quite loud, even though I've got it at the low level, huh? Yeah, Smithy, give it to him. Yeah. Actually, Icarus has a pretty good cat setup. This could be a problem. Yeah. I need some higher level treasures that can destroy their board. But anyway, how was everyone's weekend? Hopefully everyone did something fun. Normally I do some amount of fun things, but again, I've got this like pinched nerve issue, so I've actually been off of work for a couple weeks and didn't really do anything this weekend much. I did catch up with a friend of mine who's, oops, sorry, bumped my wall. She's going back home to Mumbai for a little vacation. So just caught up with her today for a couple weeks, Sunday afternoon at beverages. Because shocker, I'm a bartender, so I obviously like to have the occasional cocktail. Okay, well, look at him. Maybe get Javi again. The thing is, or Javi, I should say. Javi. Let's just look at that and then see what we see. Actually, oh, is that much worse? No, it's not. I think having him is better than having her at the moment. Yeah. Love me my cocktails. I'm actually doing a Witcher-themed cocktail pop-up next Sunday, New Zealand time, at a cute little beer bar down here in Wellington. I'm very excited about. I've had it planned for months now, so hopefully it goes off well. Yeah, pretty stoked. I think it'll be good. Interesting. Gosh, they've got those Lady of the Moon or whatever. Oh, Woman of the Moon. Got it. Yeah, there you go. And they've got a pretty strong team. I need to get some of the higher level dwarves to really beef up. Because the thing is that dwarves get you dangerously close to like the end of your HP, and then you get the big ass dwarves that really do a good buff, and you're like, oh. Alright, let's give her a big butt. Yeah, let's do it. I might have ruined my chances of... Oh, there's Snow White. Oh my god, don't even get me started about the story of Snow White. You know what? I will. So, I need one of the dwarves. The higher level dwarves. Oh, I'm in the top 4 again. How did that happen? I feel like this game is glitching, guys. I really don't know what to say. It seems odd. But anyways, you know, the original Snow White story was actually a little less problematic than like Disney made it, because I I mean, I hate to say it, I'm a Disney gal and I love Disney, but man, they did make some changes they didn't need to. Because, like, first of all, Snow White's name was Snowdrop, because Snow White's actually a different character from a different story, from the story Snow White and Rose Red. And their whole thing is about, like, fucking surviving in the wilderness. I don't think there are any princes involved in that one at all. I think it's like a story of being sisters and dealing with that drama. But Snowdrop and the 7 dwarves was completely different. I actually did a TikTok video where I just did this like neurotic 90-second word vomit about the story. But basically, you know, her mom dies, she's got an evil stepmother, yada 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 yada, and there goes my first recharge, guys, or first recharge, and then, you know, the new evil stepmother, you know, surprisingly is evil, and okay, I'm just like being stubborn, and I want those like high level dwarves. I'm in the top 4, so I'm gonna be annoying about it. I don't care if I only get 2 rank. I'm going to get one of them. Dude, I need one of, oh god. Oh, well, I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Oh, god. I'm getting a level fucking treasure now. Okay, whatever. I need one of, aha! Damn it. God damn it. No. 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 Ah! Ah! I fucked up, guys. Didn't do it fast enough. See, that's where I get annoyed. I need to remember I'm Zen. Oh, and I didn't put a character down. The stupidest boy in school. It's okay. Top 4. I'm not too mad about it. God damn it. I hate that guy. Well, that was just a fucking smoke fest, guys. Ouchie. Alright, 2 4th places in a row. I feel like we can get in the top 3 before tonight's over. I feel like we can. Yeah, but anyways, with Snow White, it was so funny. Like, so wait, she gets sent into the woods. The huntsman doesn't kill her. He kills a wild deer instead, and takes the heart of that back to the evil queen. And then Snow White, well, Snowdrop technically, she finds this house, right? And unlike the Disney movie, she walks in and it's brand spanking clean. It's like so clean. To the point where when the dwarves come home, they're like, who the hell messed up our house? Which leads me to my fan theory. She did totally walk into like a house of 7 gay men that kept their home clean. And they were like, little lady, what are you doing? So she wakes up and she's like, what, a 14-year-old girl in this story? She's like, oh my god, I'm so scared. My stepmother tried to kill me, and I'm alone. I don't know what's going on. And they take compassion on her because she's a girl alone in the woods. And they're like, okay, well, as long as you help out with some of them chores while we're at work, you can stay. Fair exchange, right? So she helps out with the chores, and they said, yeah, you should just stay in the house, don't talk to strangers, because your stepmother's out, like, looking to kill you. Pretty reasonable advice, right? Like, you know, don't fucking talk to strangers. So, you know, she probably lives with them for a few months, and then the stepmother realizes that she has a dead deer because the mirror tells her that, oh, actually, that's not Snow White's heart. She's actually living with a bunch of men in the woods, and she's fine. So the stepmother's like, oh, God, I gotta get rid of this girl so that I can be the hottest one in the land. Totally a normal thing to do, right? Kill your stepdaughter who's 14. Like, yeah, dude. There's no way. Anyways, it's like, why are you threatened by a child? So anyways, yeah, I think, was she supposed to be 14 in the Disney movie too? She might have even been, yeah, I think that was her age in the fairy tale. But anyways, moving on from all that. Yeah, so the stepmother disguises herself as an old crone and she poisons a hair ribbon. And then she starts walking around in the woods outside the dwarf's house. And it's like, hair ribbons for sale. And Snow White being like, oh, someone's selling hair ribbons. Being all dumb and ditzy, opens the door, and the lady sells her a hair ribbon. Obviously the poison one. It says, here, let me help you tie it in your hair. And she's like, okay. And then the stepmother ties it in her hair. Immediately she passes out. And someone's like, yay, la-di-da, walks off. The dwarves come home and they see Snow White on the ground. They freak out. They're like, oh my god, what happened? They see the ribbon and they're like, that's new. Again, game in. Streaming would not notice a new hair ribbon in someone, I'm telling you. Anyways, they take the hair ribbon off of her and she wakes up instantly and they're like, hey, we told you, no talking to strangers. And she's like, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. So of course by the time the stepmother gets home, god, Icarus is so polarizing. I'm gonna do Odysseus. Yeah, let's do Odysseus. Oh, I could get, damn it, I should have bought her while I had the, it's okay, I'm not thinking about it, it's too late for me. So then the next day, or wait, yeah, so the stepmother goes home and the mirror's like, hey, surprise, she's just fine. It's like, yeah, shocking that hair ribbon didn't stay in forever, like, duh. So she goes back the next day with a thing of poisoned hair cones. Same thing, sticks it in her hair, Snow White passes out. Actually, the ribbon might have been around her neck. Yeah, I think the ribbon was around her neck. I don't remember. Don't hold me to this. I haven't read those stories in a long time. But anyways, yeah, then she had a comb. Did the same thing. Popped it in her hair. Snow White passes out. You know, Evil Queen walks up. And again, I know her name's actually Snowdrop, but I've been culturally conditioned to want to call her Snow White, so deal with it. Alright, let's try to make the dwarves happening. I shouldn't try to force anything this early. We'll just see what happens. But anyways, then that's when she comes up with the poison apple. She makes the poison apple, and she only poisons half of it. And half of it's red, the poison half of it's yellow. And she goes back in a new disguise, and just keep in mind she disguises herself as a different old woman each time, because she's a fucking witch. She goes walking around outside, and Snow White is there just like, oh, la-di-da. No, I can't open the door for you, I can't talk to strangers. And the old lady's like, that's fine, we can talk through the window. So it's like, she's like, here, look at this gorgeous apple I have. And obviously it's like enchanted and all, so it looks extra delicious. And so it's like, no, I really can't. And he's like, here, if you're that worried, I'll take a bite. So she takes a bite from the non-poisoned half, obviously eats it. And Snow White, seeing that, was like, oh, I gotta have a piece. So the old lady cuts her, aka, you know, the stepmother, cuts her a slice from the poisoned half, and Snow White immediately falls to the floor. It's actually pretty heartbreaking, because then the dwarves come home and they see her on the floor. They're like, god damn it, this dumb bitch, not again. How could she do this? We've told her. They honestly should have just left one of them home to babysit her. I'm telling you guys. Okay, wait, let me actually think about this. I'm too distracted by telling you guys fairy tales. Yeah, I'm gonna get a character instead of a spell. They don't see anything, right? Because she's eaten an apple, she's swallowed a bit, and they turn her over, look for the hair, look through everything. They washed her face, they thought maybe there's some poison makeup on. Again, gay men, right? Who else would have thought of that? And they're heartbroken, because they really loved her. She was a sweet little girl, you know, literally a 14-year-old girl. So they're super crushed. They don't have the heart to bury her because she's so beautiful and young, because they don't realize that she's just in like an enchanted slumber and that she's not actually dead. How could they know? So they make a little glass casket for her, and they just leave her there for a while because they're too sad to bury her, and they're kind of secretly hoping that they'll discover what's wrong and maybe she'll wake up. And so they take turns watching over her. I mean, not to be harsh, but now I'm like, well, now that she's dead, you can babysit her. It's like, you should have done that while she was alive, dudes. Anyway, so then this prince comes along, because he just happens to be, I don't know why all these, I guess they're all hunting, right? They're all traipsing through the woods, and he sees the dwarves all sad, and he sees Snow White looking gorgeous in her casket. Hopefully there's not a crazy inappropriate age gap between the two of them. If he's still a prince, probably not. And he's like, what's wrong? Who is this person, and why is everyone so sad? And they explained who she was, and the prince was like, hey, this is almost weirder than kissing her to wake her up. He's like, hey, need this one, guys. I'm not doing so hot. I should have gotten the stars one, huh? Okay, let's do that with our lower rat. Oh, well, bollocks. Okay. Yeah, fine. Whatever. So I guess I'll do that, yeah. So, what's weird is he says, hey, she's so pretty, can I take her home? Like, he basically just wants her as a museum decoration to look at. And the dwarves are like, wow, he seems like a nice guy. Yeah, okay. It's like, what? So anyways, as they're carrying Snow White's glass casket home, as you do, damn, guys, I'm not doing so hot. How did I get smoked so early? I didn't miss a draft, did I? I've just been too distracted telling you guys fairy tales. I'm gonna get it together. Alright, let's do that. And then... oh, what's this? Cabbage. Oh. Alright. This and this. Ooh, I should get yellow bark and pop them in the sunlight slot. We'll see. Yeah, but anyways, as the prince's men are carrying Snowdrop through the woods and over the mountains back to his kingdom, they kind of like go over some really rough terrain, and the poison apple that's stuck in her throat, because it was so poisonous she didn't actually get a chance to fully swallow it before she passed out, it flies out of her throat. Which is wild, right? It's just like such a wild turn of events. It's just so funny. Oh, finally stabilizing out, yeah. And then she wakes up, and she's like, what the hell? Where am I? And the prince is like, oh my god, you're awake. Don't worry. And then he tells her everything that happened, since she's left her home with the dwarves. And he's like, if you want to like keep coming with me and be my wife, I'd be really happy about that. And she says, yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, so that's that. And then the queen goes, Snow White's been dead for a while, right, with the poison apples, so the queen hasn't asked her mirror who the fairest one in the land is for a while. And Snow White, being a badass boss and being kind of vindictive, tells her husband to be that she wants to invite the stepmother, or he wants to do it. I forget which one of them, but like Snow White's totally on board with it. So they plan their wedding and they invite Snow White's evil stepmother. And she's getting ready for the wedding. And she asks her mirror who the fairest one of all is. And he says the bride-to-be. He doesn't name her. So she doesn't know who the bride-to-be is. She doesn't know it's Snow White. So of course she's like, super enraged, right? She goes to this wedding and she's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Then she sees the bride as Snow White. And they offer her a pair of gloves, which is interesting. They offer her a pair of gloves. And, let's do the hot dog combo. So let's get ourselves a wee little hook. Because I can get down with that. Hook is great. I do need XP, but that's not going to really help me right now. But let's do that. Yeah, so they basically like murder Snow White's stepmother at their wedding reception out of revenge for her trying to kill Snow White, which, I mean, honestly, yeah, kudos. I can't say I wouldn't do that if I knew someone had been trying to kill me. So yeah, wild, right? But how much better is that than the Disney version, right? Like, she's not doing house chores for a bunch of dudes. They're actually all perfectly capable of cleaning the house. And oh guys, I'm getting knocked out. I'm losing all that rank that I just earned. That is a bummer. Damn, I'm not even close to catching up. Odysseus done did me dirty. Bummer. Okay. Well guys, so much for getting in the 200s. Now I've lost 75 rank after earning 4. How about that? It's also such a heavy penalty these days. Alright, I gotta get myself back in the 100s. Let's do it. But yeah, like, Snow White was way more badass than the original fairy tale book. And yeah, no non-consensual kiss. She wasn't doing house chores for the dwarves. Well, she was. It was a mutual agreement. But, like, they were actually really tidy and clean. And, like, capable of taking care of themselves. And they saved her ass multiple times. Again, they probably should have stayed home to watch her, but that's also kind of ridiculous because you'd like to think you could leave your 14-year-old home alone, but apparently not. Yeah. So, yeah. Think about that fairy tale all the time. I think I also, you know, before like Mulan came out, Snow White was like my favorite Disney princess because she had black hair and there was just very little diversity amongst the rest of the princesses. And then Ariel was my favorite when Little Mermaid came out because she actually had a personality, right? And I mean, Jasmine too had a personality. I really like Jasmine. But then, dude, all bets were off when Mulan showed up because I was like, yay! I was Mulan for 2 different Halloweens, guys. I was, well, Disney Mulan. I was the Disney Mulan. I was the Matchmaker Bride version, and then I was the Warrior version. Yeah, those were 2 different Halloweens. I should dress up as Mulan again as an adult and like make myself a really high quality costume. I should 100% do that. Sisyphus. Yeah, sure. Let's start unlocking all the characters. I need to do that. Alright, let's do it. Alright, I guess I should actually select my hero. The other thing is you can unlock the characters without using them in that game, which is really nice. Yeah. Good old times. What was I just talking about, guys? Before I was talking about buying the character. Whatever. Swear to God, sometimes. I'm also actually in quite a lot of pain, so it's a little hard for me to keep focus. I still should take one more round of painkillers right before bed. But you know, here we are. Alright, I'm gonna just keep an eye on the time, so don't mind me switching. Oops, need to do windowed. Just take a quick peek. Oh, lovely, we're about an hour in. Yeah, I can keep playing for about an hour. Why the hell not? And there we go. Alrighty. Let's get this. You know, hunters are kind of fun as well. And I don't want this hot potato to go cold. Let's get a wee... Actually, I have, like, unyielding, or sorry, they switched it to Iron Will. Iron Will characters are actually really powerful early game. Very helpful. And ranged characters as well. Yeah. I got a blood test today actually for my nerve pain, guys. So hopefully it's nothing serious. We're gonna see what's up. They should know in a couple of days, so I have my fingers crossed that it is just something normal and that I can just go to like a physical therapist and have them work out the nerve problem. But yeah, I have to say though, it's been kind of nice to have like a medical excuse to not be at work. My job's been going through a round of redundancies and stuff, so I'm sure the stress about that has not been helping my neck at all. These are crazy times. We're gonna look back at these times and either be like, wow, things got a lot worse, or we're gonna be like, those were some stressful times, thank God things got better. Hopefully the latter, y'all. We'll get through this. I'm trying to be optimistic. Oh, I'm making myself sleepy with this. That's perfect. Okay, should we try Odette again? Yeah, I think it's early on enough she can get a couple slays off. Yeah. Actually, maybe I'll do this and just have them be in the back. Actually, nah, don't want that in my life. We can do this. Guess I haven't lost a fight yet, so I haven't gotten the buffs. Oh, man. Oh, you know what, guys? Oh, I know, yeah, we were talking about representation in Milan and all that. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I've actually never been to, I've been to a Comic-Con before, but I've never cosplayed at a Comic-Con. Oh, ouchies. Hey, yes. Oh, we're gonna get 2 slays off this time. That's cool. Oh, beautiful. Tied. But yeah, like Mulan coming out too was like, I was like, oh wait, no, not slays. Slay, do one's quest. Oh, I moonbathe. That's why I never ordered her. Oh my god, guys, if I just read English. So, slay, do once cast the true you on the lowest level character. Oh, so it like helps me get a free character. I don't have any good characters, but I will take that wee trickster guy. And get a little, that's how, okay, I understand. Ooh, I don't want to do that actually. Well, let me get a moonbathing charm. It's probably for the best. Yeah, but I mean, man, like any other like Asian American peeps can relate. Like, it was kind of rough growing up in the 90s, right? There's just so little like positive Asian representation in media, and like I think that's a big change that's happened in recent years, obviously. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, those iron lows really help. But yeah, like recently things made a big change. I think for me after college, like, so I didn't discover, I mean, if there are any other Asian American gamers out there, I discovered Wong Fu Productions probably like a little over 10 years ago, I would say, like fresh out of college. And yeah, part of that is just because I didn't have a lot of, let's get Bluebell out of here and get the Jester up in there. Yeah, part of that was just because I grew up really conservative and I didn't really grow up with a lot of internet access, so I just didn't have much YouTube. And then during college I was I honestly wish I'd had a little more fun in college. I was just like a huge nerd, and I studied way too much probably for my own good. I mean, that's silly. It wasn't too much for my own good, but I could have stood to have a little more fun, if you know what I mean. Like, I mean, I guess I'm glad I got, like, graduated with the highest honors or whatever nonsense I did to myself, but, anyways. So yeah, I didn't discover Wong Fu until, like right after college, when I was like, oh, I actually have, like, time to chill out in my downtime when I'm not at work. I can just watch TV. I don't have homework. And God, I think the first skit of theirs that I saw was How Old Is She? And it's just a hilarious common. If you haven't watched Wong Fu Productions, even if you're not Asian, like all their stuff is so relatable and fun. I mean, it does give a little bit more of a voice to like relatability for Asian American kids, but like what was really powerful about Wong Fu is they gave like a really good platform for Asian American actors. I mean, like a lot of like Simu Liu was a Wong Fu kid. Honestly, Randall Park, he was in a bunch of them. Trying to think who else. Was it Kim? God, yeah, what was his name again? He's in quite a bit actually. Oh, Ki Hong Lee, that's who he is. Yeah, Ki Hong Lee was in a lot of Wong Fu skits. Like, oh God, I'm not doing pirates. Why didn't I have that guy in there? Dum dum. Alright, let's do a sleigh. Yeah, sure, we'll do a sleigh. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, some tricksters up in here. What have we called her now? Siren Lorelei. Yeah, like, wouldn't Nancy be a cool option? Anyways, I'm just spitballing here, but let's do a permanent hero buff. Yeah, like a lot of good like popular Asian American actors now like were in a lot of those Wong Fu skits, and well, I guess Simu Liu is technically Canadian, but yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see, and they also had a lot of mixed race Asian kids, which for me was great because like I'm half Taiwanese. My dad was American, and it was nice that they also highlighted a lot of like halfies, because that's also just like an interesting cultural experience to be a halfie in America, because you just get a lot of odd comments growing up, and I would say like, because this is something that halfies are. I mean, I'm in the subtle halfie traits group and on Facebook and all that good stuff, but like there a lot of mixed race kids, and this isn't just for half Asian kids. I've talked about this with like my mixed race Black friends too. There can be a lot of like identity issues growing up if you're kind of caught between two cultures, because you're never quite enough of each culture, right? And at least for me, from my experience, it was more like when I'm in America, white people get very like awkward about my appearance, and they ask me where I'm really from. I constantly got asked where I was really from, because I do look a little bit, I got a little more of like the Asian look as far as halfies go, so I would get that look. But in Taiwan, people also ask like where I'm from. It's like, I have a Taiwanese passport. I looked at, and a lot of times if I'm hanging out with enough Taiwanese friends, people don't ask where I'm from because they like assume I'm Taiwanese. But if I'm with like my husband, who is Caucasian, then that's when people are like, oh, you're not Taiwanese. So a lot of it is also situational, because if I'm with other Asian people, people think I'm Asian. If I'm with other white people, people think I'm not. But in the States, people always think I'm Asian, which it's funny. But I think that's more of a testament to like also the reasons. Oh, is this a tumbleweed? Oh, the rock. You are Sisyphus. Sisyphus also triggers when you tie this fight. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, do we need to be realistic about? I think we do. I think we need to trickster it away. I think we need to get trickstery. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, shout out to Wong Fu. I don't know. I just came up talking about, who knew? Talking about Mulan. This is how my brain works. This is why I figured streaming would be good. I already talk to myself too much. Might as well do it in a way that's less weird. Ah, oh, okay, cool. Yay. Yeah. Oof, burp. I have no burp shame, by the way. Any ladylike reservations that I had were completely washed away with lockdown. I never used to burp quite so loudly in front of other people, but let me tell you, I have no shame now, and that's not changing anymore. That's not changing anytime soon. Definitely not. Wow, so that's why I've never seen The Rock. It only shows up for me if I'm Sisyphus. That's so cool that they have that. That's actually like really neat that there's only certain characters that will show up if you meet certain criteria. I think that's rad. It makes this game so much more exciting. Alright, let's step up with Jester. Yeah. Maybe I'll get Gretel as well. Maybe we'll just do some hunters and tricksters. The owls aren't gonna be good unless I have like a hat ball and books and things to make them real beefy. Yeah. Man, I like talking about Asian representation in media though. I'm watching Fresh Off the Boat for the first time actually. I hadn't watched it for a while, or I have never watched it, and I guess it's almost 10 years since it came out. I guess I heard some mixed things from the Asian community, but overwhelmingly, like, it was a successful show, and I like all the actors that are in it. Love Randall Park. Really like Constance Wu. Ali Wong's hilarious, so, you know. Typical. Yes. Hell yeah. I guess, like, my one qualm is that some things I heard was that, it's like, you know, propagating too many stereotypes, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, like, the point of the show about that is, like, for Asian writers to, like, be able to kind of represent some of those, like, cultural stereotypes and stigmas in, like, their own way instead of, like, white people making fun of it. So actually, that part hasn't bothered me. What has bothered me is the least realistic part of the show for me as a Taiwanese woman is actually how they call themselves Chinese when they're Taiwanese, because let me tell you, most people from Taiwan would never, ever call themselves Chinese. Yeah, that's very unrealistic. And a lot of the culture that they highlight, like how the mom is and like how the markets are in quote-unquote Taiwan, that's like a mainland China market and not a Taiwan market. Like, Taiwanese people are actually hella polite and nice. Yeah, don't worry, they still have some of the stereotypical, like, you know, strict parents, and they really want to push you to do the right thing, but for the most part, yeah, quite a different culture. And yeah, but I'm Taiwanese, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say, like, Taiwan's not part of China, so there you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a Chinese passport. You don't need a Chinese visa to visit Taiwan. I've been to China. You need a visa to go there. Yeah, it's not the same country. The current Chinese government has never been the government in charge of what you know now as modern day Taiwan. It's just not a thing. So yeah. Alright, there we go. Oh yes. Oh, I have 2 Ironwood characters. This is great. I really like that my Sisyphus is triggering all the time. But yeah, and actually, like, there was like some recent surveys, you know, because with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Taiwan actually got very, very serious about defending itself. And like a survey indicated, it was something like crazy high that I think it was in the like mid to high 80% of like how many adults said that they would fight to defend Taiwan from China if China ever decided to invade. So like that kind of gives you an idea about that whole thing. Yeah. So yeah, no, Taiwan's its own country. It has its own currency. It has its own government. Has its own passport. It has its own visa process. You don't actually need a visa to go to Taiwan. Yeah, it's not the same country. China just likes to say that because no one's gonna contradict them because they're big, but like literally there's no historical or actual it's just silly. Like, it's just not true. Like, I don't know. That would be like, it's kind of like Russia being like, Ukraine's part of Russia. And it's like, yo, dog, what? But like, everyone's kind of just like, well, we'll just let this sort itself out. Because everyone's too afraid to say anything to Russia. I mean, at least a lot of people are like, this isn't okay. But like, no one wants to get involved, you know? Anyways, God, I can't stop. I gotta stop. I can't keep talking about political stuff during, chill time. Should be the rant time. Alrighty. Oof, okay. Whoops. But yeah, anyways, that's probably the most unrealistic part about the show. Fresh off the boat is their use of their kind of blending of Taiwanese and Chinese culture. Now, to be fair, ethnically and culturally speaking, like if you go back far enough, right? Like obviously most people in Taiwan, aside from like the indigenous tribes of Taiwan, like a lot of people in Taiwan are of Han Chinese descent. So there is obviously a lot of like if you go back to like the dynastic history, but like yes, it's the same culture, but modern times, like the culture is actually quite different now, you know, since the Civil War and the two split. It's very different. So yeah, ever since the Civil War, it's been completely independent, and if anything, the government in power at the time of the Civil War is the government that fled to Taiwan. So the government that did the overthrowing, you know, I guess you'd compare it to like the South in the US Civil War. I feel like if the South won and the Union just fled up to Canada and had their own country in Canada, and the South was like, they're part of our country. It's like, well, no. Yeah. Okay. This might work out in my favor, y'all. Oh no, it didn't. Wait. Oh no. Wow. Jeez, guys, I'm not doing that. I jinxed myself talking about politics. Don't tell me I got 8th place again. Guys, having bad luck. Man, this is why I can't make it to infinite, y'all. I'll have like a really good streak and get to like 4,500, and then I'll just lose. It's so sad. Well, let's see where we're at on the stream. Let's see how much time I've got left. Don't worry, normally I do this where I have a double window, but right now I'm just playing on my laptop because our roommate is home. Windowed. I'm distracting myself. And alright, yeah, we've got time for another game. Hell yeah. I should actually just set a timer on my phone. I know I keep doing this. It's whatevs. Play. But yeah. Yeah. Man, I can't wait to go back to Taiwan for vacation next year. We're planning to go hopefully in July. I'm really hoping the US elections don't go poorly, because I actually do have very genuine concerns about the safety of my home country, of one of my home countries. But yeah, that's a little too heavy for the nighty night gaming. But I will say that I hope, bleh. You know what? Yeah, we'll move on. I'll still talk about Taiwan though, but the good things. But anyways, yeah, Taiwan is awesome. I love it. Um, Love it so much. And when we go in, we're probably gonna go in July, and it's gonna be broiling hot. I don't actually really love really hot, humid weather. I actually really hate it because I sweat so much. I don't know what it is, man. Like, my husband doesn't sweat very much. Actually, he does kind of sweat down, like, down his butt. But, like, from his face, you can't tell as much. Whereas I'm just so moist and not in a hot way. I'm just damp the whole time. But it's actually, once you acclimate to the humidity, like while you're living there, it's really good for your skin, man. That humidity, God, I never had to use lotion while I was there. I just had baby smooth hands all the time. It was nice. Even using hand sanitizer all the time. Yeah, my hands were just baby soft. It was delightful. Truly delightful. But yeah, like, if you're looking for a place to go, so like if you like ever studied like Mandarin Chinese in school and you're looking for a place to go that's like a bit less hassle to get to than China because of like the visa process and all of that, Taiwan's a great option. You don't need a visa, you can just go. Well, if you're from a visa exempt country, which the US is, it is extremely safe. It is one of the safest countries in the world. And like, especially for women, I mean, you'll be walking down the street and you'll just see people have left like their keys in their ignition of their mopeds. Like, it's crazy safe. Very, very friendly people. Almost all the signs are in English. It's really quite clean, and it's really affordable once you get there, because the expensive part is the flights, but once you're there, things are just really reasonably priced. Like, I'm still missing I'm just missing so one of my favorite street foods is songyoping, which is scallion oil pancakes. And there's this really good but there was actually this really good spot outside our apartment in Zhongshan district where we lived, but there's a really good one right by my Ama's house. And she lives in Da'an, which is like, she lived, I should say. She passed away at the ripe old age of 98. God love her. Yeah, let's be Demeter, goddess of the harvest. Alright guys, I don't even know. I'm just gonna grab a sheep and think about it. But yeah, Tongyobing is so good. And yeah, there's just this delicious place right by Alma's house, and I mean, you can get a plain one for like 10 NT, and you can get like it really decked out for like 50 NT. So yeah, like 100 NT is like $3 USD. So like if we, like when Adam and I would go there for breakfast, you're basically spending $3 for the two of us total to have breakfast, like $1.50 each for just a really dope breakfast. Gosh, I loved it so much. Actually, yeah, let's get a little bloomin', a little bloom. God damn, I should use the spells. But yeah, oh man, and the boba. Gosh, the boba there. I've noticed I don't like drinking boba as much outside of Taiwan anymore. It's just so good, and I really love small boba. The xiao zunzu, that's the small pearls. They're so good. Oh man, speaking of boba, has anyone seen the? Should I level it up so early? Yeah, fuck it. After all, 'tis just a game, and this is all for fun and exercise, yo. For fun and exercise. But yeah, the boba is a Taiwanese invention. Actually, it was invented in Taichung, which is one of the main cities in Taiwan. And I've had bubble tea in Taichung, which is really cool. I love bubble tea. There's actually a really good place here in Wellington called Tea Talk that I go to fairly often, and they do pretty good authentic boba, you know, all the good sugar levels. I always get 30% sugar. That's kind of my go-to, is 30% sugar and like half ice. Sometimes in the winter, if I'm feeling cheeky, I do no ice. But yeah, I have to say I love me my red bean matcha flavors, but they have a really good like wheatgrass jelly tea there. Oh, so good. I'm telling you. Oh, but yeah, speaking of boba, I can't, did I literally just say this? Again, I'm gonna blame the meds for any repeat things. But yeah, did anyone see that episode of Dragon's Den where Simu Liu really like took those two Quebecois peeps down? I was so proud, man. This is one thing I appreciate about Simu Liu is he really speaks his mind, and he kind of can just be like, no, I'm Simu Liu, I can say what I want. So I feel like he was really outspoken about like China's government, and they got kind of pissed off, and he was like, I'm not gonna retract what I said. Because like this is the other thing I want to say about my previous statement where I was saying like, hey, like Taiwan's never actually been governed by the government that rules China right now. Like they've actually always been independent, and the US actually used to recognize Taiwan as like their diplomatic partner. What is it called? Like they had like full diplomatic relationships with Taiwan, not with China. But then when China started making more money, they changed their tune, which is true. That these are just facts that I'm saying, so I don't want to like, if anyone's like, no, it's not right, it is. It's just historically what happened. But like I also have had a lot of friends from mainland China or friends who are Chinese American, and like most of them agree that like China's government is quite problematic. So it's not like I'm saying anything wild here. And unfortunately China does have a lot of the but this is something funny, the way my Taiwanese family that I was gonna say is like you'll get some people in Taiwan and some people in my family included who are just extremely patriotic, and so like you can't have like a single conversation go by without them talking about like government, to the point where it's like, look, I love you, I want to talk to you about this, but can we maybe not have every conversation like, oh my god, this is actually a really funny story, you guys. So I was like on a hike with my uncle and they were just like taking a walk in a nice Taiwanese rainforest, and I was reading one of those little plaques that they'll put up along trail hikes, you know, to talk about the local like native wildlife, and it was about like a tree frog that's native to Taiwan, but the scientific name had like chinensis in the word, and I was just reading about the frog and I was like, oh wow, how cool is it that this frog has yada 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 yada, and the first thing out of my uncle's mouth was, why does that say chinensis in the scientific name? Because the English name didn't have anything to do with China in the name. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's also native in China. He's like, why is that if it's a Taiwanese frog? Why does it say chinensis? And I was like, Agu, can we just like not talk about this right now? This is very funny. So yeah, this is the level of like patriotism that is in my family. And I mean, I love them for it. It's not that I disagree with them, but it's really funny because sometimes I'm like, sometimes you just want to. And he'll do the thing that like, he'll say that thing where he's like, nothing against Chinese people, and then immediately just like rip into the government. I'm like, okay. And I was like, no, I have a lot of Chinese friends. They're lovely. I mean, it's like America. God, I'm American. I'm very embarrassed about what my government's doing. Oh, guys. Yeah. God, no, how am I just, you know, we live in political times. This is the problem with trying to talk to myself. There's always something political on the mind. Anyways, enough of that. Back to Taiwan and the good food there, because it is a really good food destination for a lot of people in Asia, because I know a lot of people from like China and Japan really like to go, and yeah, often actually we do get a lot of like mainland Chinese tourists to Taipei, because there's this beautiful museum called the National Palace Museum, and it contains a lot of the like imperial artifacts that you would actually, that probably would have been in the Forbidden City in Beijing, but when the government lost the Civil War, right? When the government lost the war to the revolution and the Civil War and went to Taiwan, they took a lot of those artifacts with them, which is good because I don't think there's actually a lot of cultural artifacts left, because I think a lot of them got destroyed in the uprisings, because they're, and like, not that I'm blaming anyone for like doing an anti-imperialistic uprising there, because that's for sure, but because of that, there's a lot of really, really cool artifacts at the National Palace Museum. So a lot of people from China come by to see, because they get to see a lot of the artifacts, because most of the architecture obviously is what's in China and Beijing, and then a lot of the items like the jade carvings and like the little walnut shell carvings, all of those are at the National Palace Museum. So it's actually pretty cool. Let's do that. Give some sunlight. And if you stick around my channel long enough, you'll find out that I'm actually quite socialist, and it's the revolution in China that happened. It's a shame that it didn't actually work out very well, because usually those kinds of revolutions create this really big power vacuum. If the economy isn't really set up with the education to do a proper imperialistic overthrow, and then you end up with just another dictator in place. This is what has happened to a lot of places like Russia, China, like all of those places. Russia, China, France. It happened in France. Like, they had their whole revolution, and then there was a power vacuum, and Bonaparte showed up. So, and what's funny about Taiwan is that actually, they were still under quite a brutal dictatorship for a while after they moved to Taiwan, because Chiang Kai-shek was a terrible dictator, and a lot of Taiwanese people, again, they don't like him. My grandmother would always complain about, so there's a place called Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall in English, but the name in Mandarin is just Peace Square, and she's always upset that they call it Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall in English, because she's like, why are we commemorating this brutal dictator? But the wild thing is this, after he passed away, Taiwan just kind of became a democracy peacefully, which is, I think, why Taiwan's one of the places that actually worked out, because they didn't have this big kind of economic overhaul, not economic, that's the wrong word, a big war basically that kind of decimated the economy. They didn't really have any of that, and it just sort of became a democracy, because everyone was like, yeah, we're done with that. So we'll see. I'm kind of oops, oh no, I didn't do fast enough. So I'm still pretty hopeful for Taiwan, and I keep reverting back to that. I think as I'm trying to make it clear that I have nothing against anyone with Chinese heritage in any way. But I'm also a very proud Taiwanese person, so I will absolutely defend Taiwan any day, and I don't care whose feelings I hurt by doing that. But anyways, God, the food's so good, and it's very beautiful there. So if you're looking for a really fun place to go in Asia that's affordable and safe, and you can get a lot of really, really good food, and there's also some food that like I said, just because of the Civil War, there's it does have its own distinct culture. It's kind of developed in the modern decades, in the past 100 years or so. So highly recommend. It's funny because anytime I have friends go there, they're always like, I know you talked it up, but after having gone, I realized how awesome it was, and you weren't exaggerating. I was like, I know, guys, I know, it's awesome. Oh, but you know what I was thinking? I thought about it when I was watching Fresh Off the Boat, and I think part of why they wanted to say the family was Taiwanese is because they knew they wanted to film some episodes abroad, and you don't need a visa to go to Taiwan. So that's why they wanted it to be a Chinese family, but then they said they were from Taiwan, so that they could easily get into Taiwan, because there's going to be a lot of people who aren't Taiwanese trying to get in. So yeah, I thought about that. I think that's why that happened. But anyways, maybe going all the way back, I really, really enjoyed Fresh Off the Boat. It's very funny. Very, very funny. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, mermaid, get her. Yeah. Alright, well, this is a better round. I think this is a good way to end the evening. Oh, but one thing I was gonna say, if you are actually curious about like the history of Taiwan, if you just look up the Taiwanese Economic and Cultural Office, if you're in the States, every Taiwanese Economic and Cultural Office, which we call TECO, every TECO has Taiwan's history. They are very, very proud of it. And they are so like I'm probably not reciting it as well. I'm putting my fellow Taiwanese people to shame when I talk about history sometimes. But yeah, the long and short of it is there was a civil war, and the losing side fled to Taiwan. Yeah. So there you have it. Let's get a narcissist. I need a higher level treasure. I'm doing like weirdly okay. Yeah. Man, I have a sandwich, guys, and it's almost bedtime, but I feel like I need a midnight snack. The midnight munchies is hitting hard. This is one thing that I dislike about Wellington. Okay, so yeah, I should talk also about the fact that I live in fucking Middle Earth. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, and so is my husband. But it's kind of still not sunk in that we live in New Zealand, because we've had so much turmoil since COVID. But we live in New Zealand, and it's super cool. It's really beautiful. We've actually been kind of overworking ourselves since we've lived here, so we haven't gotten to travel as much as we would like. But we have seen a Lord of the Rings film site. There's like this, we've seen the Way of the Nazgul, so you know where the hobbits hide under the tree, and the Nazgul comes up and all the bugs crawl out. Yeah, we've totally seen that now, and it's actually really, really cool. Yeah, it's very close to downtown, so we've hiked up there several times, and it's just cool. It's cool every time. It's a really pretty hike, and it's so funny how close it is to the city, which is, yeah, it's just kind of wild. But one of my biggest beefs though with New Zealand is that I was gonna get around to was nothing's open late here, guys. And you know what? Any of my Asian American brothers and sisters, or God, even just American brothers and sisters, anyone who's lived anywhere else, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I shit you not. The coffee shops here close at like 2 p.m. So the coffee shop around the corner when we moved here used to close at 3 p.m. Then they switched to 2 p.m. for their winter hours, and they just haven't changed back. They close at 2 p.m., guys. And if you're a night owl like me, you're waking up at like 11:30. You wake up, you have a shower, and then by the time you're thinking about going out for a coffee, it's like 1:30, and they've already closed the kitchen. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Whereas like in the States and in Taiwan, you will find coffee shops up until 8, 9 p.m. all the time, right? It's wild to me. There's one place here called Midnight Espresso that actually is open till like 2 in the morning, but they're not as much of they're a really nice place. Like, I like them, they're good, but they're not really like the chill, jazzy, like relaxing. They're a bit more of like an arcadey grunge cafe, which is a good vibe, but like not necessarily what I want when I'm like looking for a chill coffee shop to hang out at, you know what I mean? So, but the same goes for restaurants and stuff. like for late night food, I mean, your choices are like McDonald's, and that's pretty much it. Because like there's a place called Casey Cafe that's a really good Chinese restaurant. Dude, their food's really authentic. It's super good. But like they close at 11, dude. Like, yeah, dog, they close at 11. Which is wild. I hate it. And I don't know. And like, man, even when I first started working like an office job here, I was just kind of flummoxed when I would get there and like the majority of people leave at like 3:30 or 4 because they're there at 6 in the morning or whatever sociopaths do, because they never went to bed from burying their bodies in the woods. Yeah, that's my one beef with New Zealand. Yeah, that's the other thing that I'm looking forward to going back to Taiwan next summer, because I'm like, oh, we'll actually be able to like get a coffee or like a pastry after 2 p.m. This is ridiculous. Dude, in Taipei, you're lucky if a coffee shop's open before 10 a.m. I'm just saying. And like, same in like when I went to, because I haven't been to Japan as an adult, but I was in Beijing and Shanghai like years ago, and same thing there. There's like no shortage of late night spots to go, right? Like, come on, guys. Be better. And I mean, like, not to mention in the States, like I said, I mean, even in Columbus, I lived in Columbus for like 5 years. It's like, yeah, come on, guys. Come on. But yeah. Just too funny. But yeah, that's why it makes it hard having the munchies. I guess it's good because I don't, unless I've been out drinking, I don't really want McDonald's. So it just forces me to either like cook food or just not eat right before I go to bed, which is honestly probably the best option, because having a big stomach full of undigested food. Although, you know what? Now I'm like debating myself because I need to take more meds. Don't want to do that on an empty stomach, right, guys? So I have like a third of a satay chicken sandwich that what the hell? Yes, please, I do want to reconnect, thank you. What's going on here? Okay. I need to remember. I'm trying to be SleepyCat Gaming. Alright. Actually, sure, we'll do that. Okay. I have surprisingly few upgraded characters in here. I guess I'll get rid of these guys. Yeah, I don't know why I still have them. And cut. And let's get rid of him and do a piggy cast. Yeah. I just really wish there was like a late night pho place or like late night ramen. Really wish there was some late night ramen. Taiwan also has really good ramen. So Taiwan was actually colonized by Japan. That's why both my grandparents actually speak fluent Japanese. You don't hear Japan claiming that they own Taiwan, and they actually have more of a claim. God. Okay. Gosh, it just really frustrates me sometimes. Anyways, but yeah, Japan is, Japanese culture is very prevalent in Taipei. And there's a lot of izakayas, a lot of really good ramen. Surprisingly little sake though, but I also just might not have known where to find it. Like, there's a lot of like sake available in the stores, like a lot of cup sake, but like, it's a lot more like soju, and then like, actually no, I take that back. We had a lot of sake at like my friend's izakaya, or like my friend's sister's izakaya, and yeah, there's like some good sake bars. I was really hoping to find like kind of just like a grungy sake bar, but yeah. I also did only live there for the year, and like usually when I was visiting before that, like I was mostly hanging out with my family and didn't have as much time to like just, wander around. So yeah, I'm hoping that like there'll be a point in which we like live there again, because Adam and I were talking about doing that if, you know, there's like not an invasion or anything. Like that is actually, that's also why it's like an issue that I care about, because like that's a real concern for us if we were going to live there again. Yeah. Ugh, I gotta stop talking about bummer stuff. Alright. Guess as long as I keep a Bob Ross voice and you guys are asleep by now, it doesn't... Ooh, let's get a level 7 treasure. Yes, please. I'm probably not going to be alive long enough to make it happen. There you go. Okay, well at least I'm not losing more than like 5 or so rank. Yeah. But yeah, if we were ever to live there again, it'd be nice to just like scrounge around for a little old sake spot that's a little more affordable. Yeah, we've been to a couple and they were really good, but a little fancier than what I was looking for in my brain. Yeah. Oh, you know what? One great thing about Wellington, so we're in Wellington, New Zealand now, and before that we were in Christchurch. I will say one awesome thing about Wellington is that they have a Daiso here, and I really love Daiso. The first time I ever went to a Daiso was actually in LA when I was visiting my cousin. I'd never been to one because Ohio didn't have one, and Pittsburgh didn't have one. And I was like, this is the best. And then like Taiwan has one. A lot of the like cities on the West Coast have them because there's a lot of Asian immigrants there, right? Daiso's the best. But Taipei has a bunch of Daisos, obviously, and Wellington has a Daiso. And it's just like, I was so excited when I saw that Wellington had a Daiso. It was just like the pride and joy of my freaking existence. So yeah, I was very happy about it. Okay, well, depending on what this fucking guy summons, might not tie. God damn it. Too much. No fair. Oh, he died so I don't get the sunlight anymore. Oh well. Oh guys, top 4 yet again. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, 10 rank. Well, it doesn't matter. Does it? Am I back to 4,000 yet? I kind of just assume I'm always hovering right at 4,000. Oh, yes, I am. Yes. Wait, what? I definitely have more rank than that, guys. Didn't I? Nah, I think I lost more than I realized. That's okay. Wait. Let's just double check here. Boop, 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 boop. Well, guys, I think that's about our time. This has been delightful. Oh, lovely. Hi, Miss Hugs. Sorry, I didn't have my double screen up, but I'll give you a little shout out. Hello. Any hoots? I'm gonna just like get rid of the little display screen while I chit chat. But thank you. Hi. Hi. I don't like to think so. I'll message, but also I am ending the chat soon. Anyways, thank you, Miss Hugs, for tuning in. Didn't expect anyone to join the chit chat. But yeah, any hoots, guys, this was my very first stream. Had a blast. Talking to myself, because these are just, I guess, you know what, I'm just inviting you all into just the incessant ramblings that are bouncing around this dusty old attic of a brain that I've got. It's also late. I'm on meds and I had a few drinks today, so Hopefully the next one will be a little more coherent once we figure out what's going on with his old neck. Ugh. But yeah, this is a game that I play like very regularly. I would like to start playing some other games that are on my wish list, so I've got Unpacking on there. I play quite a bit of Minecraft and Stardew Valley, so I'll probably incorporate those in. And I want to play Dream Daddies by Game Grumps, because it seems adorable. And also, who else? Probably, who else? I'm talking about the games like they're people. Islanders looks really cool, and Dwarf Romantic looks really cool. Oh, and there's a new little boba shop game coming up that's called Call of Boba that will be available on Steam soon, so that'll be perfect because I think it'll be easiest to play on my PC because I don't have any sort of camera card for my Switch yet, and I feel like if I'm gonna play Stardew on here, I'd rather just get a camera card because I've already paid for it on my Switch. I guess I could just get it on Steam though and stop being like a wimp about it. But yeah, so, and if there's any other kind of cute, cozy games that you think would fit the channel, you know, give me a shout. I'm going to be like uploading my streams to YouTube, so yeah, we'll see. God, I'm like sweating now. I feel like me being Taiwanese and just like bringing that up in the first stream will cause controversy, but hopefully not yet. Like I said, I have a lot of Chinese friends, and it's, you know, you can have nothing against a culture but still be able to critique a government. And again, I'm American. Oh, that was the story I wanted to talk about. I just remembered. I have a few minutes left before I hit my 2 hours. So in Taipei, when I was bartending, it was like my last night at the bar that I was working at, and my friend came over, and she's from Russia, and she brought a friend in who was from Germany. This is like starting to sound like the setup to a dad joke, like a Russian and a German walk into a bar run by a Taiwanese. But anyways, we were talking about it. She's like, oh, this is Cat. And I was like, yeah, ha ha. And then her friend asked where I was from. I was like, oh, America, you know, the embarrassing country. And my friend from Russia was like, really? Because this was after Russia had invaded Ukraine. She was like, really? You're the one with the embarrassing country right now? And I was like, point taken. The German girl just sat there, and she did that kind of like side-eye thing, like I'm not saying anything. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This is probably the best time since World War II to be German. For those kinds of jokes, you know? It's just a really funny moment. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure America and Russia got y'all outbeat, like beat. Yeah. But anyway, thank you all for joining. I'm gonna try to do this every Monday evening my time, which is gonna be Sunday night y'all's guys' times back in the States, so it should be across the board like a good later night streaming. I don't think there's enough of that on Twitch, but I'm also like not super well versed in Twitch, so maybe there's like a whole untapped cozy game community. But if there is, I'm happy to join, and if there isn't, I'm still happy to join. But yeah, anyways, y'all have a good week. I'll be starting off with just this once a week thing, and yeah, get some good sleep tonight, don't work too hard, and we'll tune in for some more ShakespeareCat cozy gaming next week. Alright, cheers y'all, bye.